Welcome to another episode of Hack Naked TV. We're recording on June 16th, 2016. I'm your host, Aaron Lyons, and today I'm going to be talking about decrypting some hard drives when being forced by a judge, Microsoft opposing some new labor decisions, follow up on our cyber terrorism case from February, and GitHub forcing some password resets.
This is a Security Weekly production. Black Hills Information Security, the leaders in penetration testing and active defense. Email consulting@blackhillsinfosec.com to request a quote today. This episode of Hack Naked TV is brought to you by IT Pro TV. With IT Pro TV, you gain access to the most important tools needed to prepare for your IT certification. IT Pro TV has thousands of hours of up-to-date, high-quality video content. Course topics include CCNP, CompTIA Advanced Security Practitioner, Ethical Hacking, Virtualization, Cryptography, SSH, Microsoft Server 2016, and more. You can stream their courses live and on demand to your Chromecast, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, PC, or mobile device. They have one low monthly subscription price, and you can cancel at any time. Corporate pricing is available, and clients include Harvard, MIT, UCSD, Stanford, and more. Check out itpro.tv/hacknaked to upgrade your brain with the most popular IT certifications. Use the code HACKNAKED30 for a free 7-day trial and save 30% off for life.
Welcome to Hack Naked TV. Would you decrypt your hard drives if you were told to by a judge? Well, the suspect in a child porn case is being held indefinitely because he will not decrypt 2 of his hard drives. The hard drives were seized when the police executed a search warrant of the suspect's house about 7 months ago, and he's been held ever since. Now, the nature of the crime aside, because we can all get behind child porn's horrible, what is troubling is that the suspect has not been charged with any crime. That's right. No charges have been brought against him. And he's being held indefinitely for contempt of court for not decrypting the drives. So he hasn't been charged. He's being told he needs to decrypt the drives. He won't decrypt the drives. He, in fact, says he forgot the passwords. So he's being held in contempt of court. Prosecutors are saying that it's a foregone conclusion that there is illegal material on the drives. I say, if that's the case, charge him with something. And that this isn't a fishing expedition on the part of the government. Again, there's no charges being brought against this guy, but you're trying to force him to decrypt his hard drives. Very troubling, despite the nature of the crime. Moving on, maybe something a little bit more upbeat. Back in August of last year, the U.S. National Labor Relations Board expanded the definition of a joint employer to whether a company held direct and immediate control over the employment conditions of another company's workers. Now, this means contractors. To break this down, that means if a company had direct and immediate control over the employment conditions of a contractor, that they needed to be considered a joint employer. So this has big big implications for the tech industry, where, as we all know, many of our jobs are contract positions. So, not that great from the view of companies, and Microsoft is leading the opposition against this decision, stating it would have huge implications for them as a company, and they're asking that it actually be thrown out by the U.S. court. I agree with them. It would be horrible if companies had to treat people that work for them as employees rather than resources to be used and cast aside. What is this world coming to? Well, you might recall back in February, we covered the first cyber terrorism case. Kosovo hacker, Ardit Farizi, and I'm sure I slaughtered his name, aka the Director Y, He was arrested last year in October 2015 and was then extradited to the U.S. Well, just yesterday, he has pled guilty to providing material to the U.S. enemy. If you recall, he had stole data on roughly 100,000 individuals, which included the names, email addresses, email password, physical locations, and phone numbers. And this included about 1,300 U.S. government and military personnel. And he had provided this information to ISIS. So he's pled guilty. We're going to see what his sentencing is. He faces up to, I think, 30 years imprisonment for these charges. So we'll wait and fill you in when we get more on that. If you use GitHub, you might have noticed that you're being forced to reset your password. Well, GitHub has seen a password reuse attack being leveraged against many of its users recently, and they have proactively forced a reset of all the users that they've seen targeted. And they've stated that they've already reset the password of these targeted users before notifying them that they're going to have to reset their password. So it's nice to see GitHub taking a proactive step here in protecting its users despite not being the direct result of a breach. Well, that's it for this episode of Hack Naked TV. Email us at the show at hacknaked.tv. Love to have your feedback, and hack naked.